All right, welcome back to the freaking Jeep garage. As you can see, we're not working on a Jeep. What I have here in front of the camera, or behind me right now, is a snow thrower, not snow blower. I know semantics. A quick rundown. The snow blower is a unit that takes in snow and blows it, right? So it's got a big fan, centrifugal fan in there, and you stuff all the snow in there and it spins around really fast and it throws it out the chute, right? Okay. This is a snow thrower. There is no blower behind here. It's just the spinny part here and a chute. And what it does, it pulls the snow into the center, and this thing spins fast enough to throw from the center the snow out the chute. That's the basics. So a popular upgrade for these is to change the gearing for this auger, make it spin slightly faster, a few percent faster, which allows it to throw snow harder or faster. It's like getting a stronger arm and throwing a ball, right? So that's a really popular upgrade. Another pretty simple upgrade that takes very little mechanical skill is when they build these, there's a clearance in here between the paddle here and the floor or the bottom of this unit, and it's just there, in case it gets dented or something, and it's just there. Okay. A popular upgrade is to take some belting. This happens to be just a piece of like rubber bed mat that I cut down, a cut piece out. And what you do is you drill some holes and you attach this in here, like so. And that takes up the clearance between here and here. You can see I can stick my finger in between there. That's how much clearance there is. So if we mark this and we put that in there, I'll probably end up cutting half of this off of here. But we'll drill a couple of holes along here and we'll put this belting in here, sealing this up. And what that does is, for one, it catches more snow. It doesn't leave a thin layer of snow behind. And two, what it does, it increases, they call it wingtip speed, I believe. That's the speed at the farthest point out from the center. So in the radius, if you increase the circle, the center spins this far, but the outside has to spin that fast. What it does is it speeds up, makes the outside run that much faster to obviously to be the same speed as the inside. And as you get bigger, the faster that outer ring has to spin to be the same speed, right? Some people have a hard time grasping it. I understand it. But that's the whole idea behind this, is by adding a 1/4 inch of rubber here, or 3/8 of an inch of rubber to seal this up, make it, to take up the gap, you are increasing that circle, and increasing the wind. I can't talk today. What that does is it increases that wingtip speed, or that tip speed here, which does the same thing as speeding the blower up. It just offers more speed to throw snow farther out the chute. And these things are notoriously good for when you get the right ground speed and the right kind of snow, and you can throw snow for days with it. Wet stuff, they tend to plug up a little bit in the chute. This also is supposed to help with that, just because you've got that squeegee effect on here, and you've got that little extra wing tip speed, or flapper speed. A lot of people have done this trick. It's nothing new. These types of blowers have been around for longer than I have been on this earth. a lot of people have done it, and that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to grab drill. Got my trusty antique 18-volt drill here at the shop. Some very sharp drill bits, and I have a marker, and I've got tools. So we will go through and we will trace out, mark what we're going to do here, get our shape, we'll cut it down, drill some holes along here, and I think we'll be on a good roll. So let's get to it. All right, a little bit of noise warning here, but the first thing I'm doing is I'm taking a grinder with, I'm using a flat wheel, but you can use a stone wheel. And there's a lot of burrs on this. This one's been used on, you know, a gravel driveway, so there's a lot of wear. Some of these flutes are pretty bent. I may try straightening some of them out, but the biggest concern is this area right here, where I'm going to put the belting. I don't want the belting to get all cut up. I'm also a big on removing like weld splatter. That's what I was doing when I was grinding here and on the top side, just get rid of that. And then I've ground along these edges here because I have to work here, and when they're sharp and prickly and pokey, I don't want to get my hands all cut up. So I just made sure that those edges are sanded down so they're not sharp. Now is a good time to check. These are really, this is a high stress point for this stuff. So it's always a good idea to check for cracks. This one's already had a crack and had it welded, so it looks good. We're going to get ready to mark some paddles here and cut some rubber and get them put in. Okay, I turned you guys off for a moment. I used my percussion instrument, and because this one was kind of flattened out like this, I got to be kind of back into shape where it's kind of where it matches the other side, where it kind of should be, you know, close-ish. But no, I have this up on the forklift or on so that I have easier access. I'm sitting on a stool. I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. It's going to be easier if you take it off the tractor so that you can spin this freely. like mine is on a 400. This unit is for my 400 tractor. It's direct drive. Granted, there's belts on there, but it's just a tension system. It's not an electric clutch or anything. If for whatever reason something goes wrong and I'm turning this, I don't want that thing to start and take my hands or my arms off, or my fingers. I kind of like my fingers. So make sure you disconnect it from your tractor. So there is absolutely no way it can start up and eat you. With that in mind, I'm running it through here with my fingers. I'm trying to gauge the depth that I'm going to need to use, and it's about that deep. Right? It looks about a 1/4 inch. Okay, 3/8 of an inch. It's close enough. Right now my belting here is like 2.5 inches wide, 3 inches wide. 3 inches wide. Obviously I don't need that much on there. And really I probably should be using a little bit thicker material, but I don't have any thicker material. So this is what I have. And if it works and it wears out, no big deal. I have more, or at a later date, all you gotta do is take the screws out, the bolts out of this, zip, 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 and take this out, chuck it, and replace it with something else. Just for reasons, you know, try to keep your pieces fairly even. That way you're going to kind of keep the balance. If you aren't, hello camera. If obviously, you know, this isn't after 50 years or 40 years, this is not balanced very well. But the more out of balance, boy, that camera is goofy. The more out of balance that it is, the worse it's going to shake and vibrate. And the least amount of vibration is best, because that is easier on the bearings and the tractor in general. So try to keep your pieces the same size, use the same amount and the same size screws. Just do it right the first time. That's all I say. But so we're going to have to measure this. We'll see once. Technically, wonder how hard that would be to go up the sides a little bit. That might be kind of hard to get it to stay. We'll just do across the front here. That's really where we're concerned. And now, as the thing spins, it spins this way, right? We don't want this on the front side. We want it on the back side. So we're going to be putting it on the back side here. And that's just in case it gets jammed up or something. It allows it to bend backwards, but it's still there, kind of doing what it's supposed to do. That also leaves the front smooth, so that there's nothing there to catch on other than the bolt heads. And I'm using round head bolt. I probably could have grabbed some flathead or some taper type, you know, flathead flush mount, and I could have drilled the holes and used my countersink them so that they're completely flat. But I'm not that concerned. It's not going to be that big a deal. So we will measure this, cut it, get some drilling going here. Looks like it's going to be about 5 inches. So I'm going to mark my belting here at 5 inches. So I marked my piece, at 5 inches, and it's roughly an inch and a half wide or so. I use my trusty tin snips. This stuff is not easy to cut. That's why it's good for stuff like bed mats. It is not good for cutting. You could use a razor blade, utility knife type deal on this too, I would suppose. Making multiple passes with a straight edge. I don't have one of those around here, believe it or not. Not here at this shop. I would at home, but here we are, we got a piece. That we're going to put on here. Double check here to make sure we're happy through the sweep. I'm going to mark it. If I can get my die cam marker to work here. Yeah, good enough. With this material that I'm using, it just happens the depth that I need is this here. So I can put that edge right up to here and I can drill my holes. Now ideally we probably should have like a piece of tin that we can put across here so that it gives some rigidity to it. I'll take a look and see what I got. I might have something I can use. Okay, I didn't record, but I went and got a couple of pieces, a couple of strips of metal. They are the same size, so that so they weigh about pretty close to the same. And we'll use that on here. I grabbed a vice grip and I have a couple of little squeeze clamps. We will decide what is better, but oh, and I also use my flap wheel to there's like dimples on the back or little bumps on here. I sanded the bumps off so they're smooth. That way I can put that on here. It looks like I may have to do a little bit of trimming on this. Maybe not. We might be okay. But that should give us what we need here. We'll clamp it on. I need a bigger vice grip. All right, camera over here. All right. I've got it clamped in. I've got it locked down too. Vice grip is doing double duty here. What I have are some 1024 screws, some stainless steel screws. I think I grabbed ones that are a little too long, but if that's the case, we'll just use a grinder and cut them off. And I have nylock nuts on them. Feels about right. Double check my screw here. Yep, feels like it'll work. Sharp drill bits are a must when you're doing this kind of stuff. Actually, I think these bolts, these screws will be just the right length. Put a washer on here. See what size socket I need here. 3/8? Yep. A ratchet. I need a ratchet. Here we go. Yep. Mini ratchet, that'll work. I suppose I could use an impact on it too, but I think that's about perfect. Now we can drill the other side. Okay. Next one here. The drill bit I'm using is pretty tight. I probably could have gone up one size, but this is working. Probably should grab some Phillips head instead of flat. It's okay. Just a little harder to hold here, especially with a wore out screwdriver. I should probably take it back to the tool guy and have him give me a new blade on it. I don't have that at the moment, but I got his grinder. We'll just touch up that edge a little bit. You'll never know. Oh, that's much better. There we go. And now I'm going to drill one here in the middle to hold it. Would you guys like to see too? So there's a hole right here in the middle. I am going to line up with that eyeball. Pretty good with my eyeballs here. All right, come back to the other side. Now, I would suppose you could use metal here too. That would be fine, whatever your preference is. I think rubber is the better choice because it has a little bit of give yet. Oh. Okay. Now we have one rubber paddle. And that, ooh, just right. There's a little bit of, as that rolls through, it'll wear, it'll fit right where it needs to. We may have to grab the edge of this here, in fact. And we may have to roll this up just a pinch. It's a bit bent anyway, so it's not that big a deal. All right. So now we will, I have to cut another piece here. About that far, and let's see, we got, what did I say the other one was? 5 inches, that's right. So we'll cut that there. Cut out the trusty tin snips. Got quiet in here. Must be up to temperature. It's winter and it's, well, it's at like 25 degrees or something like that right now, so it isn't terribly cold outside. Here we go. We got my next piece cut. I'm gonna take the grinder and clean off the back. Got the tractors together and I've had it running a little bit. I use it to plow the yard out and it's doing good. Now we're ready to put the snowblower attachment on it. Because we're supposed to get a significant amount of snow. One hole left here, and we're going to be done with this project. I know this video is a little late. Many of us around the country have already had a bunch of snow. Our weather here in Wisconsin has been very unusual. We normally are buried in snow by this time of the year, and to be honest, we barely got anything. In fact, just this week we got a couple inches of snow, and that's right now covered up my almost green grass. Washer here. Another lock nut. Ratchet. And there we have that. It has just a little bit of drag right at the very end, which is going to be great. This will wear in. It's just rubber. As it rotates, it'll get warm. This is a little bit rusty. It'll act like sandpaper. It'll sand it nice and smooth. And it takes up that gap. I think it's going to throw snow even better. We'll have to get it on the tractor and get it fired up. And if for some reason I forget to, remember to build it bigger, better, faster, just build it. Quick little project for you to do in the garage. I'll see you on the next one.